welcome everybody to the One Talk One Piece podcast, the podcast to listen to if you love One Piece or if you breathe oxygen. My name is Lee, and with me is my co-host Kento. Today we're going to be reviewing One Piece chapter 969. So Kento, this is a very controversial chapter. I looked online, many people are calling Oda a bad writer. They're saying this is a bad chapter. What are your thoughts of that? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think Oda's a bad writer for this chapter, and do you think it should be controversial?
Well, I think it should be controversial because controversy is stemmed in, disputes and discussions. I'm pretty sure that this chapter was very divisive in its in the reaction that it generated. But, to call Oda a bad writer on just in the legs of one chapter, I think is a bit premature.
Well, it's not just one chapter. It's like accumulated.
All right.
But
The
they
last
they,
few
they, they, they
flashbacks.
nitpick all the bad things, Like when Oda does one thing bad, it's magnified to them because they have some agenda, or I don't know what it is. But it's not
Yeah,
just
there's
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
true.
but anyways, you're saying sorry.
I mean, personally, I just think, personally, I would wait till the end of the flashback. I have problems with the chapter as well, but for me, like, I would reserve my judgment until the end of the flashback. I think what people are mad about is they probably thought that there were better ways of explaining the 5-year gap in the timeline of this flashback with Odin, and I think that's what people are mainly mad by. Like, they want things to make sense, and I think some people are confused, and that confusion is why people are getting pissed off. That's just my take on it. But what do you think of the
So
chapter
so
and
so
the
so so
response?
so, so you're saying basically the people who are calling Oda a bad writer have a small brain
No. I think
because they
the
can't they
concern.
can't comprehend like this is just a red herring. Like it's just
No. I think
it's not
they're
the whole story.
yeah, the
To
concern
be
is
fair,
justified.
yeah, to
To
be
be
fair,
fair,
it took me two or three reads of the chapter, rereads, to really figure out what was going on. Like I was like, that must be the old hag when I saw Odin doing all this, you know, stupid shit like twerking. Like I thought maybe maybe this is the old hag, right? Like something happened. Maybe Odin was captured.
yeah,
But then I
same.
read it again. I was like, holy shit, that's actually Odin. Like that's not the old hag. That's Odin. Um, I'm not angry with it though. Like I don't know why people are angry. Like I would just be confused, or I'd be like, I'd have a lot of questions. But I'm not angry. Like why would you be angry at this? You don't even know
I'm
what the
just
fuck has happened
wondering.
yet.
I'm just wondering why though that Odin had to go out there and just twerk and shake his ass and do all that. I mean, what was the point of that?
So yeah. So let's get into that, man. Like
Yeah,
straight
let's
into
get
it.
into it. Right.
I think it must be some sort of agreement or deal that Odin and Orochi had. It must be. It must be.
Yeah,
It
I'm
might sound
sure
a
it
bit
is.
weird, but I mean, that's what it has to be. That it is that, like for sure. Like I'd bet my house on that. But
Right.
what could that thing be? Like 5 fucking years of doing that shit. 5 years of dancing and twerking. Like what is that? What is that about? Like 5 years. That's what's crazy. And the weird, like, because Odin says, because Odin's like he's about to kill Orochi, right? Like okay, he can't break through the barrier. He's about to kill him.
Right.
And then suddenly we get this panel of Orochi. He's like, going into a flashback, or like he's like, it's basically Oda saying, "I'm not going to show you what happened, but basically something happened, and this is the result." And the end result
Yeah.
was basically Odin twerking, like for 5 years. You know what I mean? Like he was being a fool, but we don't know what
That.
that was. But
Yeah.
then in one of the pages, um, Oroshi's like, "Can we build factories in Kuri?" And
Hmm.
Odin says, "What about the boat? What about Kaido?" And then
Yes.
Orochi's like, what are you talking about? Almost as if to say, like, I totally forgot what the hell we said. Like, I just totally, I
Maybe
totally
that's
just,
Oda. That's Oda saying, "Uh-huh. What are you talking about?"
yeah, I basically just pulled your pants down in front of everybody. Like, fuck you. And Odin's like shocked, like exclamation mark. Like, I'm fucking, like, what the hell? You promised me something, but you're not giving it to me? What the fuck's happening? We had an agreement here. Um, And then Orochi, yeah, he's just completely ignorant of that. He pretends to be ignorant of that fact. But what I don't get is like, Oden snaps, like Oden, like, changes his mind and says, like, you know what, I'm gonna kill Kaido, whatever. Like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Hyogoro is captured and his wife is killed and 16 of his men are killed.
Right.
So for me, that's kind of like a very small price to like a small incentive compared to
Maybe.
5 years
Right.
of twerking and 5 years of probably other people being killed, factories being built, pollution, all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, why was this the straw that broke the camel's back? Why was it this? What do you think?
Good question. Good question. I think maybe it, in vacuum it wasn't, the biggest thing or the main reason, but probably like just he was putting up with too much shit. It just for 5 years, I think that was the last straw that broke the camel's
Yeah.
back. I think he just couldn't take it anymore. I think like
5 years is a lot of time, dude. That's longer than the entire Straw Hat's journey.
I mean
Like,
he
by times two.
I think why people are mad is probably also the fact that well, two things. Number one, like I'm sure like a lot of people first thought this was gonna be the last chapter of the flashback, etc., etc. But not being that it wasn't, people would have naturally their expectations of, in their minds, while we're waiting for the release of the chapter, trying to piece together, fill in the blanks of what happened. We all have, in our minds, expectations of what we think could have filled those 5 years or what happened. So I think the anger comes from dissatisfaction at how Oda basically made Oden twerk for 5 years, to be a slave jester for 5 years. I mean, the situation arguably makes little to no sense. I mean, he wasted 5 years and revolted in the end, anyways, right? So I mean, Wano was, I mean, under the dictatorship during these 5 years, he had a choice. Like he still had a choice to keep his dignity and yeah, I mean, even though he had no chance versus Orochi and Kaido, but it's weird.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I get why people are. I can understand from that viewpoint why people are mad.
Yeah, I mean, why
based
did
on
he
what you
act a
just said.
fool?
Yeah,
Why did he act
exactly.
like a
Yeah.
fool? But yeah, I'm sure he
But we don't know
was
what happened though. We don't know
in a
what
hostage
happened. So I
situation.
still think we should, give it a chance. I mean, we have to give it a chance. Like what?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with
The thing here is that if it's something so minuscule or insignificant, like okay, it was just like 5 years was like on that particular day after 5 years, like Oden was just having a bad day, and then he heard that his friend died or his friend was captured, his wife died. Okay, and then he's like, "Fuck Kaido, I'm gonna make him pay because I've had a shitty day and like I just heard this bad news." Like if that's the case, then yeah, I would be a bit disappointed. I wouldn't say Oda's a bad writer. I'd just be a bit disappointed in that, especially for such a great character like Oden.
Yeah.
I think he's got extremely strong personality, man. I think. I hope as well, whatever happened, whatever the deal was, it involves something that's quintessential to the story. Like maybe relating to One Piece, maybe relating to an ancient weapon, or maybe relating to like Roger or something, something that's not just, so insignificant that we don't give a shit about it.
Yeah,
Or like
whatever the
something
boat
that's
is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's get on to that. What do you think the boat is? Because I think that panel, it's such a like Oda's a genius. Like that's such a small panel, right? Like most casual readers would skip that panel. Like they won't go back to it,
Right.
But for guys like you and me, we look at that panel like 10 times. Like what the fuck was that? What about the boat? And what about Kaido? Do you think those two things are connected? And if so, what do you think it is? Or what do you think that means?
My first instinct was to think that it was something similar to Noah and Fishman Island, but then now that I think about it, I wonder if the boat is just, I don't know if it's too important, but maybe, who knows, man? Maybe I'm sure Oden, he puts the welfare of the people of Wano first, so maybe I just thought maybe he just wanted to evacuate the city and put all these people in this fucking boat and just bail. But I don't know. I have no idea what the boat is. It's very cryptic and yeah, there's not much to go on at the moment. What do you think?
Okay, so I saw some theories that it might be something like Noah, like a Noah sort of boat. But then you have to ask what, like we don't even know what Noah is for. I mean, I presume Noah is a transportation device or vessel for something, because that's what it is in the Bible, right? It's a transportation for all the animals. Right. I think Noah is a transportation for the fishermen in some way to get to the surface. But I mean, they don't even need it. I mean, they just swim there. But I think it's a vessel of transportation in some way, right?
Yes.
So it could be that. It could be an ancient weapon. It could be Pluton. Pluton's a boat,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
option. But what I think it is, and it might be a bit far-fetched, is that
Hmm.
Odin is a guy who's traveled the world, right?
Yeah.
And he's seen everything.
That's right.
Maybe he wants to open the borders of Wano and have like this special huge ass boat that can take people from Wano outside the border, like to anywhere they want.
Ooh.
Maybe it's like the specific destination. I don't know, but it's a
I
boat
like
that can
that.
basically
Yeah.
take people out of the border and
Yeah.
experience the world. You know, have a better life, maybe, maybe escape
Nice.
this country. But you know, it's basically opening Wano's borders. That's what it is. Because I mean, this whole fucking arc, the end goal is to open up the borders of Wano,
I
right?
actually hadn't thought about that. Like, that's a really good.
The end goal
That's
is
not
to
far
open the
fetched at
borders of
all.
Wano, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe
That's
it's
his
like
dream.
a special boat, like a huge ass boat that only Orochi can make because he's got all the money, right? And he
Right.
has maybe some shipwrights, and he has maybe the knowledge to do it,
Hmm.
to make this boat. Because obviously Odin can't make the boat, and none of his retainers that we know are shipwrights.
Yeah.
And so the power lies within Orochi. Maybe Orochi said to
Right.
him, "I have the knowledge to make a huge boat that can carry everybody out of Wano, and I'm the Shogun, so I have the authority to open Wano. Everybody thinks I'm the Shogun, so only I can open Wano." And
Dude. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I think the boat is.
That makes a lot
So
of
he was
sense.
promised that. He was promised that, right?
Right.
And
Yeah. That
and
makes complete sense. Yeah.
and in terms of Kaido, so in one of the panels, in one of the pages, Kaido shows up. I think they killed two people with the poison arrows, and then Kaido shows up after that, right?
Hmm.
So what I think happened is that, okay, the two people that were killed by Kaido, obviously it was by Orochi's henchmen or Kaido's henchmen, right?
Hmm.
So maybe Orochi's like, you see those two people I killed? I can
Yeah.
kill every and Kaido shows up, right? So then
Yeah.
Kaido's also in this conversation now. So Kaido shows
Right.
up. He's talking with Oden and Orochi, like they're all in the same place, right?
Hmm.
So Kaido and Orochi are like, we can kill everybody in Wano right now. Kaido has the flame breath. Kaido has like huge DC. Kaido's like, I can kill everybody right now. Those two people I killed are nothing. I can kill everybody right now.
Hmm.
So you either do what we say, or I'll nuke the entire Wano country, and
Right.
everyone will die unless you do what we say. But if you do what we say, I'll leave Wano in 5 years or whatever, like whatever he said.
Yeah.
Maybe he said
Yeah.
he'll leave. Maybe he said like I'll fight you, Odin, in a fair and
Yeah.
square battle away from Wano, so we don't hurt anybody. So that's what I think it is. The other option is, and I just thought of this. The other option why Odin was doing what they said is the same reason as why Killer is brainwashed. So Killer, okay, fine, he ate the smile fruit. We know that's
Yeah.
it made him laugh, like all
Yeah.
funny, like Mr. Joker. But he was also following Orochi's orders. Like he said, like he was the servant to Orochi. Like when he was chasing Zoro,
Yeah.
he said like I'm gonna capture you for Lord Orochi or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How does laughing make you change your entire mindset, ideals, and beliefs? It just makes you laugh, right? But I think
Hmm.
there's another devil fruit user whose power is to brainwash you, maybe. Or maybe it's something, maybe it's like a haki technique. Maybe it's just hypnotism. Like we've seen Django, we've seen Lafitte use hypnotism. Maybe it's something like
Yeah.
that. And it changes your mindset or like your beliefs to basically serve Orochi.
Hmm.
So that's the third option. That's basically saying, okay, Odin was brainwashed, but then after he heard Hyogoro got captured,
Hmm.
he his brainwashing's like wore off. Like he just snapped out of it, you know. So that's the other option because Killer was brainwashed in some way. So it
He
could
was
be
broken.
he was broken, but I mean he was also brainwashed.
Right.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
he
just
was
like
used.
he was still fighting, he was still laughing. So he wasn't like completely like, broken.
Right.
He still had thoughts and like, sentiments. So
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
yeah, so maybe the same thing happened to Odin, but I don't like that. I don't like that one. I don't like the fact that that's such a powerful character who has conquers haki, got
Yeah.
fucking
Exactly.
brainwashed by this scumbag. And I mean, there must be a reason why Kaido was there. So I feel the most likely possibility, the most likely outcome is that Kaido held the whole basically held the whole Wano country hostage, and said,
Right.
"I'm gonna blow up everybody unless you do what I say."
Right.
And then the boat thing as well was like an extra incentive. Like, okay, we'll give you this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I
So
think.
I just want to say, like, those two, especially the first two explanations would be, I think they make a lot of sense. And the boat thing, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, I mean, if it's Odin's dream to open the borders and the boats are, it's his means to do so because, as you said, Orochi might be the only one who has the resources to facilitate that. And I think, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that's a great plot point, I think. And, obviously Kaido's holding the
Also,
country
yeah.
hostage as well.
Also,
But
another thing, Wano has the access to the sea stone.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe they need to cross the calm belt, and only
Mhm.
Orochi has the knowledge how to make, that sort of ship that coats
Yeah,
the bottom with
against Sea
sea
Kings.
stone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. True
So
that.
you're saying? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, no,
You were
no.
saying?
I mean, but yeah, we're just talking about you were just saying how Orochi is a scumbag. So this chapter we got to see even more of him and some of the Kurozumi retainers. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Orochi now as a villain this chapter and is he disappointing? Like this is also tying into the writing aspect. What do you think of Orochi in this chapter?
I don't like him. Like he's a scumbag, but that makes him a good villain. If you don't like him, like personally, that makes him a good villain, right? So
Yeah,
I think it bolsters his character. I think it bolsters his status as a villain. I mean, we can't expect every character to be strong. I mean, or else then like the best character is just the strongest one. Like the best villain is the strongest character. That's stupid. Like Orochi may be a better villain than Doflamingo at the end of Wano. Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But if he does really dastardly deeds and is really sinister and really like unethical, like super asshole, like that makes him a good villain.
yeah,
Although
fair
he's
enough.
weak.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I think a villain's strength accounts for maybe like it is a big thing in One Piece because it's a shonen because Luffy has to fight them. But I mean, I would like to have a villain that's not strong, like kind of like Spandam. Like Spandam was a shitty villain though, like he was just stupid. And
Right.
yeah,
And yeah,
but maybe he's a better version of Spandam. Like he's not super weak. He's a good devil fruit, right? He's a mythical Zoan, dude. But maybe
that's
his
true.
his cunning, his he's very sinister, and his intelligence make up for his weakness.
Right.
And
I
if
mean,
he
yeah.
if he continues to really be an asshole, like really like you just want to hate him, like you just can't wait for Momonosuke to cut his head off and
Yeah.
torture him, then he's a great villain.
True. I mean, his end has to be a satisfying one, and you're
But
right. Like,
yeah,
not every villain has to be strong. We have Kaido and his crew for that.
yeah,
Uh, I just think like, personally, I think this chapter showed that he is an asshole. I mean, the way that he manipulated Oden,
yeah,
and the fact that, I mean, wow, this guy also humiliated like the entire Kozuki clan, and I mean, all the things he's done, killing his
yeah,
father as well. Like, yeah, he's
yeah,
done a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of shit.
Oh, and
Yeah.
another thing is that maybe his father's held hostage. He's not actually dead.
Right. Right.
That's
That's
another
possible.
another theory I saw. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think Orochi is he's all right. As you said, I think he really does fit into that. The reason why I'm not too high on him is because he fits into the same, Spandam, Wapol mold. Obviously, he's a bit better, I would say, and plays a more pivotal role. He's not as useless, but in terms of personality and just the way that he's designed, I think, yeah, he's a bit of a throwback to some of those characters. I personally, still would have liked not necessarily has to do with strength, but a more imposing figure. But then again, I'm pretty much I'm kind of used to him Orochi by now. It's been a while since we've been introduced to him, so
Yeah.
I think this chapter did a good job of yeah, solidifying him as a
I,
scumbag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want him to like. I still don't think he's reached that like top tier scumbag level. I mean, he's a dickhead. He's more cowardly though. Like that's the thing. Like
He is.
his
This chapter he
scumbaggery comes
was
from his
scared.
cowardice and
Yeah.
like failure to compete physically. Like I don't like that. Like it's okay, it's
Same.
good, but he needs to do something really sinister. Like I haven't seen him do anything really bad. Like I want him to do something extremely bad. Like dude, he almost slept with Odin's daughter. He almost fucked Odin's daughter. That would be fucked up, man. I want him to do something like that, like on some
Yeah,
berserk shit,
something degrading. But
like
he's
really, really bad.
he just hasn't lived up to the Shogun moniker. I mean, his
Man,
position.
dude,
This
before
chapter, like,
Wano, we used to think the
yeah,
Shogun was like really powerful. We used to say
exactly.
like we used to theorize the Shogun was like admiral level.
And he would look badass, with this armor
Yeah,
and all that stuff, like
yeah,
looking like a real shogun. I mean, this guy in this chapter, he pretty much shat his pants when Odin was rushing him. It wasn't until he knew that he was
yeah,
behind a barrier that he got all coy again. I mean, yeah, I really don't like that, but what can
yeah,
you
yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's his
yeah,
personality.
yeah, yeah. But he could be a great villain. He could be a great villain, but I think it's coming, man. I think by the end of Wano, he's gonna do something, or he's gonna reveal something that he did maybe. That's just really, really gonna make you hate him. But it makes
Right.
him a great villain, though.
I mean,
I
it's
think
hate sync.
I
We
believe
already,
it's. I think it's coming, man. Like he hasn't done anything near that yet,
yeah.
but I think it's coming. I think he's about to do something
I
that's
think
really, really
another
bad.
just one last thing on Orochi and why fans or readers might be a bit irked by Oda's writing. I think you can say, I mean, when you look at Orochi in this flashback, he has literally two characters who were basically created like the his relatives, the old hag and the other Kurozumi guy. The fact that these two characters were introduced solely in this flashback, who basically, I mean, the plot gave him everything. I'm talking about Orochi. If he was doing this, like if he was, but the fact that he was, like everything was kind of given to him, put in this position, in this flashback. I don't know if that hurts him a bit, as a character, as seeing his motivation, and I just don't think it's very impressive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but again, we're talking about strength there, right? But
well, no,
I
not
mean, you know what,
just his
no,
strength,
it's
but
not just
yeah,
you're right. You're right in the sense that he could have had the coolness or like the composure to know that his subordinate has the barry fruit, right? And so you know what, I'm cool.
yeah,
I'm gonna use
he's
my intellect because I'm smarter than you to know that you can't hurt me because I got this guy and I also have my
exactly,
ultimatum. I have my ultimatum in the back of my pocket, my ace in the hole. I know
yeah.
I can fucking swindle you, to go twerking for 5 years. I had no I have that in my back pocket, but he's just a fucking coward. Like he did, it's almost like he didn't need to be scared because he has that ultimatum in his pocket and he has the Barry, me, and he's also got guards and he's got his own devil fruit or whatever. Like he didn't have to show his cowardice so much if
Exactly, and
he's really, really that confident about his plan. And he
yeah,
has fucking Kaido right there. Like, come on,
and
Kaido
that's why I
appeared.
think he's a bit of a. I mean, I found
He's too
his two
cowardly.
exactly. I found his two relatives to be actually a bit more creepier than he was. But he to that point, like I think he's just a puppet ruler. Like I think that's the mainstay of his character. So
Yeah,
yeah, Orochi. I think there's just a ceiling that he's bound to reach as a villain. But until we see what that
yeah,
is, to me
I see
he's
that.
more of a puppet ruler. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. I wish he was just a bit more, had more composure.
Yes,
He would
that's
be
true.
he would be elevated so much more if he had a bit more composure there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like just not like shit his pants every 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's strange how Odin just snapped after hearing like the Hyogoro thing. Um, and you know what, dude? This is a little detail here that I noticed. Um, when fucking Odin heard about Roger's execution,
Hmm.
it says that Orochi gave Odin a newspaper. So what's that about? Are they in a little bit of like a relationship there in terms of like they're always talking on a daily basis, or they're always talking, they're always in contact?
Who's in a relation? You mean Orochi and Odin?
Yeah, like obviously Orochi blackmailed him, like he
Hmm.
had some sort of deal, but Orochi gave Odin a newspaper. Like, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to show that generosity to him?
I
Why do
think
you?
he wants to
He
torment
wants him.
him,
He wants to torment him. Okay.
if possible. Like, but that that depends on the extent of his knowledge to Odin's adventures and what he did after
He
leaving
doesn't know
Wano.
shit though. He doesn't really know.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't know shit. So why would he know that that would get his nerves or hit his nerves? Hit him in the
Maybe
nerves.
it goes back to opening the borders of Wano. Like he wants to give him the news. Like I assume he didn't just give him one newspaper. I assume that he gave him multiple newspapers, right? To just keep his mind intrigued about, opening the borders of Wano. Like, Oden, there's so much more out there in the world. Like, remember? I'm just gonna give you this newspaper every fucking week. Here you go. Here you go. You remember that there's a whole, new world out there. Remember? Oden?
Yeah.
Like he's just. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, based on my theory, like that he's basically tempting Oden to open Wano's borders.
Right.
But yeah, Oden, man, he's pissed off, dude. Like at the end of that chapter, his face, I love that, dude. He's actually pissed off. Like the next chapter, I feel is gonna be a great chapter. It's gonna be a break after that chapter, though. It's the third chapter. It's gonna be a break, but I think that chapter is gonna be amazing. I think Kento.
I think so as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an amazing chapter. But
He summons the 9 red scabbards, and they
dude,
march across.
yeah, man, all 9 of them plus Oden against the Calamities and Kaido and Orochi. That's a dude. Do you think we'll see that fight or no? Or skip?
I think we'll probably see the aftermath of that fight. I have a feeling maybe a bit of a skirmish, like
Yeah,
because we don't know what happened to some of like Denjiro. Like we haven't seen him. I believe we haven't seen him in the current timeline. So like maybe we'll get some explanation as to what happened to some of these characters and how that came about. But it's implied that, and we've talked about this before, it's implied that Odin's confrontation with Kaido wasn't just a one-off thing. Like it didn't happen just once. Like it's implied that they fought like at least like twice or like, a
really?
couple times.
When was that?
Well, we're talking about how in this timeline, maybe he fought off Kaido, he gave him the scar, and then later on they fought. But then I think this chapter kind of dissuaded that a little bit, given that, I believe 5 years have already passed since then, right? Since
Yeah. So
Odin's return.
I think when Kaido was there at when those guys shot the 2 arrows, I
Right.
don't think they fought. I don't think they fought.
Right. Okay.
I think
Then-
now in the next chapter is the first time they're gonna fight, like actually go seriously fight. I think
so do you
Kaido.
think this is the one and done.
I think it's one fight, one outcome. I think it's one fight. I don't think they
Right.
fought now. I mean, there'd be a huge battle. They destroyed a building, dude. They destroyed the whole fucking capital. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, and the
Um,
Calamities and Scabbards as well.
Here's a question. So 5 years ago, basically when that whole incident happened, when Oden was confronting Orochi.
Yeah.
Do you think Kaido would beat? Who do you think? Do you think Kaido would beat Oden then? And then 5 years later, when like right now in the next chapter, do you think there's a difference there? Like Kaido would win now, but 5 years ago he would lose. Do you think there's a difference there? That's
I
interesting.
do. I do. I
Really?
think
5 years.
5
Kaido was
years
training.
in One Piece,
Kaido was training.
it is a long
Yeah.
time when you think about it. I mean, we look at characters like Luffy. Obviously, the main character is
That's fucking
different.
main character.
2-year time skip. But when you look at some of the upsides on some of these really strong characters, I mean, look at how quickly Shanks rose from cabin boy to Yonko. I mean,
Not really.
no, that's
gradual, bro. He's 40 years old.
that's true, but I still think 5 years is a long time.
It is.
So
You're right.
5 years ago, I would say Kaido would not be able to beat Oden. No, in my opinion,
Wow.
if he was still young. But like now, 5 years later, given all that shit that Odin's been through, and presumably, we also one more thing, which we get to touch on in a bit. We see the Kaido and Moria bit in Ringo, and the
Yeah.
Gecko Pirates,
Yeah.
Beast Pirates. So we know Kaido is also on the move as well. So he hasn't been stagnant, whereas Odin's been stuck in Wano with all this shit. Kaido's probably amassing followers, gaining power, amassing resources. His military probably getting stronger. So I do think 5 years does make a difference in the gap. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in this encounter. I do think right now, obviously, if this is the only time they're gonna fight, then Kaido probably is stronger. But we don't know. Maybe it could be it might not even be like a one-on-one conclusion. Like there could be underhanded means that could be implied. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's still open. But I would like to think that that's not the case, because we already know that Kaido's arguably, according to the narrator, arguably the strongest one-on-one fighter in One Piece currently. So for him to use dirty means to kill Oden or beat him would be out of character.
Yeah, that's a few years ago. But I agree with you. I agree with everything you said there. Yeah. I also think Kaido got stronger in the 5 year gap, but minimally. Like it's not like Luffy. Like 2 years.
Oh, of course
that
not.
much.
Yeah, yeah. Of
2 years
course.
he quadrupled his strength. Not like that, but
Yeah.
I do think it makes a difference. I think maybe if they thought they had a fight back then, Kaido would have lost. But or I don't know. It's hard to say. You can't say because Kaido was a cabin boy in Rox's age. It's
Yeah.
really hard to say. But I think the 5 years does make a difference. But
Yeah.
I think ultimately, Kaido in the next chapter, high diffs Oden. Not even extreme diff, high diff. I think Kaido right now is like low Yonko level. And I
Right.
think Oden is like low Admiral level.
Yeah, I think so as well. Because
Low
I think
Admiral level.
when
Like
Oden
Fuchi
was
level,
traveling,
Fuchitora level, yeah.
yeah, I agree. When Oden was traveling with Roger Pirates, I would say he was pretty active. So I don't know if Kaido would have beaten him like one-on-one then.
But
Like I
Oden's
really
been
don't
twerking.
talk.
Oden's been twerking for 5 years. I think Oden
Exactly.
got weaker or he just like, he didn't improve.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't. Yeah, it's not like he's journeying to Laugh Tale and honing his skills or whatever, and just seeing the world and being seeing all the strength gathered before him. No, now he's stagnant. So it's possible that he's regressed a little bit. At the same time, Kaido's also gotten stronger. That's enough to bridge
That's
the gap.
plausible. That's
Yeah.
plausible. What do you think of Moria being a swordsman? What do you make? That was pretty cool. I
Oh
like
wow, yeah.
how Oda brought that up. That's a cool panel, man.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about
It almost
that
makes
part
it
of the
seem like
chapter.
Moria and Kaido are like rivals, like almost equal. What the fuck?
Yeah,
If that's the
I
case,
know.
then holy fuck, Kaido definitely got stronger in 5 years to beat Oden, or with some underhanded tactics.
We can we can go on forever
Do
on
you
that.
think Moria is stronger now than he is like when he fought Luffy?
You mean when you say now, do you mean post time skip or in this flashback?
I mean, do you think he's what in Thriller Bark?
Right, yeah.
Do you think Moria is stronger then or now? Like in the flashback?
I think in Thriller Bark, I think he got a lot worse. Like I think he regressed a lot.
He
And
regressed.
yeah, I think he regressed a lot. I think either that or we know he never lived up to his potential. Because it was implied that before first of all, this flashback, this one panel is something that we've I'm sure people wanted to see for years. Like it was hinted so long ago, like probably in real life 10, 11 years since Thriller Bark, where Moria talked about how Kaido destroyed him and his crew and his mind, and we assumed possibly that was a stomp, right? Like we thought maybe Kaido soloed his crew or something like that. But if this panel is any indication, it seemed like it was more even than what we initially thought of. Maybe the two crews were in a face-off, Gecko Pirates, Beast Pirates. All we know is that the aftermath of that fight was so bad that it broke Moria. But we know Moria, after Roger's execution, he set off on his journey, which was, I think, that execution, after one year, he only made it 1 year into the new world with his crew, and then his crew got destroyed, so he never really got far. But if we're to see that they're rivals, as you said, if they were actually rivals, then I think Moria had a pretty high trajectory than we initially thought. It's just that he doesn't have, the plot armor that Luffy has. Shit happens.
But
I mean,
his ambition
getting
is
broken.
low. His motivation is low after he lost to Kaido then.
Yeah,
Because
true.
how
His
strong do you
willpower.
think Moria is right in this flashback? Do you think he's Admiral level, just below? What do you
No.
think?
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good question. I think he was a super rookie, man. He was at that time
Well,
he was
like pre-time skip Luffy, post Enies lobby.
no, much stronger than that.
Stronger.
Probably yeah, I would say
I mean,
post
to fight Kaido, he should be.
yeah, he wouldn't stand a chance otherwise. And that also depends how strong Kaido was, but assuming he's already close to Yonko level, yeah, I mean it's kind of impressive. We only have one panel to go on, but dude, I think Moria is yeah, man, back then I think he was a bit more yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Give me a power level, man. Give me a character we can relate to.
Oh my god, I really don't know.
Sanji level, current Sanji level.
Probably I would say current Law.
Whoa.
I think he got worse, man. Like you said, bro, his
Whoa.
as you said, Lee, he lost his willpower. I mean, his ambitions were shit. We know that the Shichibukai, right?
Yeah.
The Shichibukai,
Okay, because
yeah,
Law's
go
hacks.
ahead.
Give me another character. Kid. Or Virgo,
Kid.
Virgo. Smoker.
Probably stronger than Virgo, bro.
So I think Virgo can solo the entire Straw Hat crew pre-time skip almost.
Oh yeah, of
Basically, yeah.
course. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
so
of course.
so Moria lost 1v1 against Luffy basically post
Yeah,
time skip.
in
Well,
Thriller
I don't
Bark.
know. To be fair, yeah, he did it. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he had
You see,
Nightmare
like,
Luffy, but still.
yeah, Nightmare Luffy plot, but like, nah, it's not even that. I think you're right. Like, his ambition was shit. Like, when we look at the Shichibukai, right, pre-time skip, uh, not all of them, but like some of them, we have this this association with, you know, the seven sins and whatnot. All we know, like, Moria is a sloth. Like, he was lazy. Like, that fight with Kaido completely broke him, you know, and he
Yeah,
went right back to paradise, and he didn't get any better at all.
I
Like, he
believe
didn't,
his bounty before Warlord was 320 million. I believe so. So it's not that high. It's pre-time skip with Luffy. I think it was 320 million. I could be wrong. I think it's 320 million. So,
Yeah.
so that's not that high. I mean, he's not even the 500 million. He's way
Fair
less
enough.
than Ace. He's way less than Sabo. So,
But he made it to the new world, so we don't know.
so doesn't matter. The new world, dude? The new world is fucking. It doesn't matter if you're in a new world. Like, I mean, new world level. The only people who matter are the Yonko and their crew. Bro, we've seen fucking fodder in Dressrosa. We've
I think you
seen
make a good
fodder.
point.
We've
That's
seen
true.
fodder in Punk Hazard. We've seen fodder in like in every single place. In Fishman Island, we've seen fodder. Fishman Island is new world. There's
Yeah,
fodder. They're
you're
fodder.
right.
Like,
I
bro,
mean,
pre-time
it's
skip
hard.
Luffy can destroy everybody in Fishman Island.
Pre-time skip Luffy.
Yeah, easily.
Hogan?
Yeah, he beats Fukaboshi. He beats Neptune. Extreme diff maybe, or like high diff, whatever. He beats them. Fucking,
Right.
it's embarrassing for Fishman Island. But Luffy beats all of them. Pre-time skip.
True that.
Right?
I think you have a point, man.
Even Hody.
Hody? Nah, man. Hody would
Without
probably
steroids.
destroy. Oh, I still think he'd beat it pre-time skip Luffy's ass. I mean, dude, like the difference.
No.
If you look at the
Dude.
pacifistas, dude, like using them as
I know.
yeah.
But still. No. Pre-steroid Hody, pre-time skip Luffy, mid diffs him.
Yeah, but Fishman Island's pretty shit. I'll agree with that.
It's just the steroids. The steroids help him. But I'm just saying here, Kento. Like,
Right. I agree with you. I
this
mean,
Moria, you're saying this Moria is law level. I could believe that. He's got a sword as well. Like, is he a swordsman? I didn't know that. But
one thing that
if
helps,
if he can even, like, you know, if Kaido can only mid diff Moria, then yes, I agree. Maybe he's just under law. Like, maybe he's Virgo level.
yeah,
No, but
it's
that's hard
hard
to believe that he regressed so much.
It's hard to go off one panel, just facing off. You're right. I mean, the other thing that helps your argument as well is I think potentially, like, I mean, first of all, I do believe that he regressed, but then the thing is, it also depends on his devil fruit. Like, did his devil fruit maybe, like, because we know, like, devil fruit users, as they get older, probably, like, they discover more about the devil fruits and more properties, and, you know, he probably found something with the shadows, and then he got Hog back as well, so he found more ways to use his devil fruit in more, you know, versatile, creative ways. So as he got older, his devil fruit mastery probably got better as well. But I don't know, man. I think he was on his, like, we know that he was his ambition definitely wasn't on par with the other people of his generation. Like, we know that for sure.
Yeah.
But I think he was on the come up as well. Like, he was an upstart. I mean, did he get stomped by Kaido? It's possible. Like, it really depends. Like, but if he was a rival of Kaido, he has to be at least like
True.
You know, he has to give him not a tough time, but like, mid diff. Like, damn.
Even mid diff against Kaido at that stage, who was probably, you know, low admiral level, or even less. Even if Kaido was like fucking current Luffy level.
Yeah.
Like, and he mid diff Moria. I give Moria credit. Moria definitely regressed. But that's interesting. Also the Barry no Mi and the clone fruit. I think that's interesting how they were used against Oden, but now they're used to help Luffy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good throwback. How the fuck did they end up in the East Blue? Or like in the Paradise? That's crazy, right?
Who just reincarnated, probably. But I have no idea. So, yeah. Oh, man. There was something else I wanted to ask you about.
What is it?
This Oh man, no, like it's a part of a grander scheme. Maybe we'll
Just
discuss on
tell,
the topic. Yeah,
is,
which
is it is it is it related to this, to the chapter, in some
yeah,
way?
it's related to what you just said.
And
The
just fucking ask it.
all
Yeah.
right, the two devil fruits, right? So recently we have the One Piece, like the recent chapters, especially with this old hag's fruit and the berry no mi now. Like there's a theme of reincarnate or like the fruits of a previous generation. To kind of like throwbacks. We have fruits, devil fruits being used in the current timeline by characters. Same fruits being mentioned here. So like uh with this theme with devil fruits potentially reincarnating or being used by other later generation pirates or characters. There's also a thing with rocks. Like people have speculation on his devil fruit and Ace and etc. Like, so yeah, do you think like in the future we'll see like Oda like just use a major plot point? I mean, like, where is he trying to go with this? Is what I'm trying to ask you.
What What do you mean? Oh, with the devil fruits, with the reincarnation?
Yeah, like because recently like he's been doing it more, right?
I
To
think it's
show.
just fucking lore, man. I think it's just fucking good lore. I mean, Punk Hazard, we learned about the reincarnation aspect. I think
Right.
Oda's just, giving us throwbacks. I don't think there's any plot to it. I just think it's
Sure.
cool how he just how these how how these two characters have powers that we've seen previously.
Okay then. All right.
It's
Let's
not a
move.
plot. It's not a plot. I don't think we'll. I mean, there could be one more user who has like the
Right.
candle fruit, like the wax fruit. I don't know, but I mean, or like some fruit we've seen. I'm just giving an example, but
Mhm.
I don't think it's a plot. I just think it's cool how we've seen it. It's a throwback.
Do
It
you
makes
expect?
it confirms the fact that we know that these two users will die. So I
Mhm,
think in the battle that's coming up against the scabbards, I think these two guys will die, like the
mhm.
hag and the old man. They'll die. Um, because we know
Right.
about how devil fruits work. You have to kill the previous user has to die, right?
Do you expect one of the
They're
more
also pretty old,
prominent?
so maybe they could just die of old age. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. No, I was just asking. Do you expect? Do you think that some of the more prominent devil fruits that we've seen, like the ones used by the admirals or even some of the Yonko,
Ooh,
like, do
yeah,
you think we'll see like previous generation users in some
that would be
flashbacks,
cool.
maybe?
I
Yeah,
wish.
right.
I think we will. For not all of them, but maybe we'll see like the previous
Yeah,
magma fruit. I don't know,
yeah,
previous
yeah,
darkness
yeah.
fruit. Like with the
I feel like
very
Oda's.
prominent ones. Maybe the previous Gama Gama
Yeah,
no fruit. I think
yeah,
we'll definitely see the previous Gama Gama no fruit. But I hope it's not someone obvious like Joy Boy. I hope it's someone
yeah, yeah, yeah.
random or like someone who you don't expect maybe.
I feel
I
like
hope so.
Oda's hinting at it, hinting at not Joy Boy, but like for example, like the Magu Magu no Mi, or even like Whitebeard's devil fruit, the Quake fruit. Like,
Yeah.
damn, like
He
imagine
won't show
that.
all of them though.
You won't show all of them, but I think they do have a. I think Oda's hinting at, not hinting, but like I do think they have a role in potentially some of the past stories, like with rocks or with the ancient kingdom. Like we'll probably see some crazy stuff with those more powerful devil fruits. But yeah, nah, it's just something I thought of seeing the reincarnations of these devil fruits and throwbacks to the past. And yeah, like you said, it's good lore.
I agree, yeah. So what do you rate this chapter then, Kento?
This chapter for me would be a 6 out of 10. I was tempted to give it lower, like a 5.5, but then I really like that panel with Moria and Kaido, man. Like I think like that was something that a lot of people had theorized, talked about, the specifics of that encounter. We still don't know like what, but to know that that's being brought up, it's neat to see that happen in the timeline. Hopefully we see more of that in the future with Moria's flashback, potentially Kaido. But yeah, like there are questions in this chapter, and things that of dispute and issues of controversy regarding Odin. As a character, again, I still want to reserve my judgment until the flashback is over. The ending was a good setup for next week's chapter. Overall, some questions with Kaido's control over Wano and the boat, etc. Some of the stuff with Odin's retainers, that was cool to see as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably like
fair
a
enough.
6. Yeah.
Fair enough. I actually give it a 7.
Oh
I
wow.
like it because it gave huge controversy. So I give a 7. That's actually a fucking good rating. Like that's a good rating. Anything above a 7 is really good. our rating system is not like we give every chapter like an 8 or 9 because it's good. Like a 10 is extremely hard. In the whole series, there shouldn't be more than maybe like 30 10 out of 10 chapters. Probably even
Right.
less. Like
Right.
our rating system is very, very not harsh, but we just say it as it is. If we give every chapter an 8 or 9 or a 7 even, like a 10 doesn't mean shit. But this
Mhm.
chapter was really good. I liked it. I like the throwbacks. I like the Moria stuff, and I like how it caused controversy. And I just hope it has a good payoff.
Mm.
So I give it a 7 out of 10. I'm tempted towards 6.5, but I give it a 7 because I like the controversy a lot. And artwork was also good in this chapter. I noticed that.
That's true. That's a good point.
And I
Yeah.
love how Oden was pissed off at the end. It really sets up the next chapter in a hype way. Like next chapter is gonna be fucking good, dude.
Yeah. Can't wait.
So
till the next
hype.
chapter.
Like Oden's face in the last 2 panels, in the last 2 pages, fucking hype, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I
Can't
give
wait.
it that. What are your predictions for next chapter? What do you think is gonna happen?
I think we're gonna get to the the meat of the flashback. I mean, some of the stuff that we've already seen in this flashback has been amazing, but I think the next chapter, I hope that it'll be, it'll be worth waiting for. I don't want to see it skipped. I want to see the fight between the Beast Pirates and the Wano Samurai. Some of the fates of these characters, I want to see them, get some closure. Like for example, the Hag and the other Kurozumi. Like I want to see how they died, and interesting to see. I just want to see Kaido, man. To be honest with you, I hope Kaido makes an appearance. I hope he takes a big role, and
Do you
and then
think he'll show? Yeah. Sorry, you're saying. Sorry.
no, nothing. I just said like I hope the next chapter isn't the last chapter in the flashback. I hope we get like at least not at least, but like I hope we get 2 or 3 more up until the point where Kaido and the Beast Pirates just destroy Wano, and like the stuff with Oden's family like escaping and all that. With Toki's devil fruit. But I just want to see Kaido get his character establishing moment as a true, overlord and a villain. Yeah, that's what I want to see. What about you? Your question, sorry.
I think we'll see I think we'll see a confrontation.
Mhm.
I don't think we'll see the cut. I don't think we'll see Odin cut Kaido. I think that's next chapter. I think we'll see like the confrontation. We'll get like half the chapter will be like talking, and then half the
Mhm.
chapter will be clashes, confrontations, and then at the end of the chapter will be like Odin starting to fight Kaido. Like we'll see like 2 pages of them fighting, and then
Nice.
yeah, that's what I think it's gonna be. But basically, it's gonna be confrontation. It's gonna be hype, and the last 2 pages will be Odin and Kaido sparring. Not sparring, sorry, like fighting.
I like that. What do you
Yeah.
think their
I
conversation?
don't think he'll get cut though. I don't think he'll get wounded yet.
Not
Sorry.
in the next chapter. Not in the
Their
next chapter. Right?
conversation, dude, I can only imagine. Like when it's gonna be some hype dialogue. Like when Big Mom and Kaido fought.
Yeah.
Like Big Mom was like, "What type of fool would come here to die?"
Yeah.
It's gonna be something like that, and then they're gonna clash, Conqueror's haki.
Like
It's
top
gonna
tier
it's gonna
trash talk, man.
yeah, top tier trash talk. It's gonna be like that, and at the end of a chapter, that's my prediction. And I figured that chapter will be an 8 or a 9 even, probably 8. But if it's a 9, dude, that'll be hype as fuck.
Do you think we'll get to see at least?
I think we'll see some
chapters
abilities.
of the fight. Yeah, like a fight, like an actual fight between the two.
We'll see clashes, and I think we'll see some abilities of the 9 Scabbards. I think we'll see abilities from Denjiro, Raizo, and Ashura maybe. Like named attacks. That's what I mean. Not actual like full-on power schemes, because Oda doesn't do that shit. We're not gonna get an individual fight for each Scabbard, dude, or like.
Yeah, of course.
But
That'll
we'll
take
get the
too long.
beginning of the Odin clash.
I mean, if they get Oden and Kaido, I'm happy, man. Like,
Yeah, same.
we gotta see that shit.
All right, so now we're gonna get into our topics of the week. So every week we cover 3 topics. We decide the topics, but once we have more viewers, we will ask you guys, the audience, to choose a topic for us, and we'll discuss it. Okay? We'll pick at random. We might have a poll, but we need to get more viewers for that, right? But for now, we choose the topic. So our first topic will be Conqueror's Haki. What is it, and how is each one unique, and what are some potential ways that characters can use Conqueror's Haki to fight?
Yes.
Kento, We'll start with you. What do you think?
All
What
right.
do you think it is, and like, how do you think it people can fight with it?
I feel like Oda has this huge potential with Conqueror's Haki. It depends on how he wants to use and continue to develop it. Uh, he's obviously showing us more, but we know that Conqueror's Haki by default, willpower can people who can't withstand Conqueror's Haki get knocked out. It can make people render them unconscious. We've also seen people like Shanks use it to damage inanimate objects such as Whitebeard's ship, the hull of his ship. Um, but I feel like Conqueror's Haki, being a trait also, being people who have it are truly special. We've seen that. I think that it reflects certain traits of these people and might even indicate aspects of their personality. We know that Conqueror's Haki, there's an aspect of charisma, and in
Yeah,
addition to the
for sure.
willpower. Yeah, you think like I think the charisma and there's a type of representation of how that is portrayed, and I think sometimes like it's not even that the color of the conquerors of a person is the reason that causes something to happen. Like for example, uh, when Luffy had Conqueror's Haki, when it was revealed that he had it in Marineford, everybody was freaking out. No, but there are other reasons too. I think it's smart that Oda gives these impactful people or these people who are historically significant color of conquerors because it also might be a cue to how these people affect the world. So like, allow me to elaborate using just a couple examples first. I feel like there are different themes. Like this is just my personal theory, but different themes of Conqueror's Haki with each person who has it, and it has to do with how that person involves and impacts the larger world and the groups of people around them, or even influencing big or key events that are life changing. Uh, I feel like obviously we can get into Color of the Conquerors and how it can affect fighting, as a combat attribute. We'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
Um, I don't doubt that it could be incorporated into combat, and I'm sure Oda's going to show us that. We've seen some of that through Shanks, it's implied, but I think it's also more of a quality as well, quality to influence people. For
So it's not
example,
just like you don't have
yeah,
to be strong to have it. Like it's more of a personality thing as well.
yeah, I feel like so. Who's the weakest Color of the Conquerors user we can think of, like, or the
Uh,
one
Ace. Oh no, sorry.
like a kid or like someone who's
Ace. Ace. Ace is
Ace?
the
Is
weakest,
he?
even as an adult. I think
What
he's the
about
weakest.
there was someone who had it. I forgot who, but like yeah, I can't remember, but like yeah.
Chinjiao, 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 Chinjiao.
Yeah, okay, so Chin Jiao, yeah. So I guess I mean he was yeah, I don't know much about Chin Jiao, but he had Conqueror's Haki. But more so like so the charisma aspect. So for example, my first example, Boa Hancock, right? The queen of
Yeah.
Amazon Lily. Her Color of the Conquerors, like so we know that she holds the title of most beautiful woman in the world, etc., etc. Like that's her looks. But I have a feeling that in addition to her looks, her uh, Conqueror's Haki actually amplifies that fact, that trait. It's what makes everyone maybe even swoon over her more than they normally would. And so,
Yes.
her devil fruit is the perfect like complement for that. It
Yeah.
turns them to stone if they lust after her. But her Conqueror's Haki, I feel like, is what makes them see her appeal, right? Like we know Conquerors, like people
Yeah.
who have Conqueror's Haki, they affect the people around them, like large groups of
That's a
people.
great way to put it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
no, 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 it's fine. It's all good, bro. But yeah, like her Color of the Conquerors may affect how people are infatuated with her. It's a type of effect that her Conqueror's Haki has. It also like ties into the fact that she's a ruler. Like she's the ruler of an island. She's a so-called queen, so she's a sovereign, monarch of to some extent. The next person, Monkey D. Dragon, right? The resistance leader, the cultural reformer. I'm betting he has Conqueror's Haki. I mean, why wouldn't he? The fact that he's able to rally an entire revolution, to gather the largest anti-government resistant force in the One Piece verse
Yeah.
through intel, through preparation, the cohesive work of their members, holding this army together, someone who can muster up a large force to bring a cultural change and resistance or revolution to the world of the leader of this resistance. That's the vibe I'm getting from his Conqueror's Haki. I'm sure like it's possible that this guy who has this charisma, who has this Color of the Conquerors, like that's also his trait, to be able to gather and rally the masses.
Yeah.
Historically, like to have all these people just like unite under one cause. And then the other like bigger example is Luffy himself. Like we know in Marineford, right?
Yeah,
Remember
his
when
friendship. Yeah, people want
his
to be
friend,
friends with him.
exactly,
Yeah.
like, and I know that's a trait that the main character usually has in
Yeah,
shonen.
but it's different. It's different this time.
It's
I
different.
get what you're saying.
I like how Oda does that. Like
Yeah.
we know that. Look at how many allies he made in Marineford. Like all the people, like who actually, even though he was weak, like we know, like he was nothing in Marineford. He was a fly in a desert storm. Like but his spirit, his will, his life force, determination impressed the people around him, earned their respect. The fact that he does what he says he will, and some of the few or the many factors that make him a likable person to many people. But there's certainly an intangible factor to it, being that his connection, like he's connected to so many prominent figures. His Color of the Conquerors, I believe, like, is the fact that he's a friend to everyone. Like he can make friends with just about anyone in many situations. And we even see Mihawk talk about that in, like, he lampshades that in the Marineford, saying that he has this unique ability to rally the people around him. Like everybody just likes him. And then we can go on and on with like Ace. Like I feel like him, we have never seen him use Conqueror's Haki. I think the flashback. I think the Sabo flashback we saw him use it. Could
Yeah.
be wrong, but like the fact that
So
he's the son of the Pirate King, the fact that he was so important, like he's a D who is an important part of history. Like just think about it. This is a bit far fetched, but the fact that, like, okay, yeah, the reason for his execution being the son of Roger, like we know that's the reason why he was scheduled for execution. But the fact that the event of his execution itself involved so many people, drew so many people to him, the Whitebeard pirates, the Blackbeard pirates, the Marines, triggering a war like that involves so many prominent people in such a prominent event. Not that that's necessarily to do with his Color
that's a
Conquerors,
good
but I think,
point. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right. It's like a side
I
effect.
think that's yeah, yeah. I agree with what you're saying completely, man. Like, the Conqueror's Haki. The reason you have it is because you have something special about you. Like you're a
Yeah,
special individual. I think every
yeah,
character has that, but we won't see everybody's. Like
yeah, of course.
Rayleigh, Katakuri, Big Mom. Like you won't like. There's something about them, but you won't see it. I think
Yeah,
the three characters you mentioned, Hancock, Luffy, and Dragon. Yeah,
yeah,
the cover Conquerors makes it's kind of a weird situation. Like it's a chicken and the egg. Do they have those personality traits because they have Conquerors, or do they have
yeah.
Conquerors because they have that personality trait? It's
Exactly,
kind of like
bro.
a chicken
Yeah,
and the egg situation. I can say
yeah.
Whitebeard as well. He's the world's strongest man. People think of him as the world's strongest man. People think of him as a father,
The
pops.
father, yeah, the leader
Yeah,
of
the father.
warriors,
Yeah, the
father to his
father.
men.
So that's another type of sort of
Yeah, exactly.
like sort of like alpha male characteristic, basically like the conqueror, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sort
Garp,
of
I mean,
thing.
the legendary hero, hailed as a hero in his time, role model to the Marines.
That
You
one's a
know,
bit more ambiguous, but I get what you're saying there.
yeah, that's true.
Dofi's a
Yeah,
bit ambiguous,
oh,
but
for sure. No, Doflamingo, like his wide array of connections, he's very charismatic. We know
he's a
that.
celestial dragon.
He founded the largest, underground network in the New World, the main
True,
broker.
true, true.
Yes, and oh no, like he has so many followers and subordinates who are fanatically devoted to him. Like his own crew,
True, yes.
Oden,
So similar to Luffy,
Virgo,
but
like they
similar to
believe
Luffy.
in him. They believe in him. He was
Similar to
able to
Luffy. Similar to
inspire such
Luffy.
a, yeah, strong
Yeah,
friendship
yeah,
and
yeah.
love.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And he's a royalty. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So you have all these people.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think every character will show it though. But I mean,
yeah,
I get what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
but that's what I
That's
like
a
about
fact.
a pre-time skip. Like post-time skip, a lot of the characters, like we know they have it. Kaido, Big Mom, like you said, like they don't show those. They show more so the power aspect of it. Like being able to knock people out, and like we're seeing more of that in the new world post-time skip. But I always like the ambiguous nature of it pre-time skip, because as you said, like the chicken and the egg, and that's a perfect analogy. Like which came first? Like I always like that aspect of it, kind of, the fact that it was left up to your interpretation more so. But
But
now
but
that
then
this,
yeah. Sorry, you're
yeah,
saying.
that's cool. No, no, I'm done. Yeah,
But like it's kind of like we need those answers though. Like what's the point of having that question if we don't know? So I
you're
think
right.
Oda still hasn't answered the question of Conqueror's Haki. Like what is it? What does it do? And does Luffy's ability to make friends, is that Conqueror's Haki playing its role in a passive way? Is
Exactly.
that a passive form
Oh
of
man.
Conqueror's Haki?
Yeah, you
I
worded
think it is.
that.
I think it will be. I think it's like 70% it will be. It could just be, MC plot armor, but I
Yeah.
think it's 70% it will be, and I think the reason why men are infatuated about her is because of her conqueror's haki, like something to do with that,
Yeah.
Shanks.
Shanks, that's a
But
good
but
one.
but
What do
okay,
you
so
think of
so
that?
here's the thing. So here's the thing. The second part of the question of
Hmm.
a topic. What is the actual practical use apart from the passive use? Like, what is the active use?
Yes,
Like, what's
yes.
the active use of it? So,
What do
do
you
you have any
think?
ideas on that? So I'll you go first on this one. I got some
Uh,
crazy
I feel like I've
fucking
talked a
ideas,
lot,
bro.
but
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
we'll take our time with this. Now, I'm just gonna say one thing is I think as for active use, practical use, I just feel like Shanks is gonna show us like a lot of shit. Like he's gonna show us the probably the most complete arsenal of
Yeah,
Conqueror's hockey, and I feel like he will embody that. Like he was the first character to actually show a more physical use of Conqueror's hockey when he appeared on Whitebeard's ship to meet him, and
yeah. That's the
yeah.
only physical use.
Yeah, and as for passive use, like the fact that obviously he's a Yonko status, the fact that he made the Sea King just go away, giving the Sea
That's
King
not
like
that's not really
a
that's not really
stare,
a passive use.
like
I
he
don't think. I
scared the
think
shit.
that's just his
Uh,
strength.
when he
That's
stopped the Marineford War using his presence alone, like he and his crew, obviously like that was the aftermath of the
I
war,
don't
and
think that's
everybody's
passive.
tired.
I think that's
But
just because
yeah,
he's strong.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, but I'm interested to see what traits he will display. Like he obviously has strong qualities of leadership to be a captain of such a powerful crew. But yeah, what do you think?
I think the active use of Conqueror's Haki. Okay, so the thing I think Shanks will have, or like the top tier Conqueror's Haki users will have, is basically dominance over inanimate objects, or dominance over anything. But
Mm,
he could use inanimate objects to his advantage. So, for example, like he can enforce his dominance over his willpower on the ship. So he breaks the ship, right? He
hmm
can enforce his dominance on water, so he can make tsunamis.
hmm
You know what I'm
hmm
saying? You see what I'm getting at? He can
Yeah.
force his will on anything like mountains, rock, so he can make like some Shiki type shit, like where he can just control basically telekinesis,
Right.
but in the form of okay, it's not like he's using psychic powers, he's using his willpower to enforce his dominance over objects. So he's telling the objects what to do just because his will is so strong. Like it's not psychic, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah.
the effect is basically like telekinesis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine
Dude.
he creates like these huge fucking tsunamis with his conqueror's haki because
Yeah.
he's putting his will into the sea. Or maybe he can like put it
Yeah.
on his sword.
Whoa.
He can put
Yeah.
his conqueror's haki on his sword and it increases his like cutting power. Like
Yeah.
his cutting
Yeah.
power becomes like ranged. He can like cut, with more potential. Like he has more potential in his cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, this is another thing. Zoro and Sanji. Hell's Memories
Mm-hmm.
and Ashura. I think it's possibly ornament hockey, like it's ornament hockey, but at the same time it could be Conqueror's hockey, especially Zoro,
Yeah. Especially
especially Zoro.
Ashura.
Like
Yeah.
Ashura, that just seems like a Conqueror's hockey thing. Like Kaku said, it's like this man's spirit. Like this his spirit is manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be Conqueror's hockey. Like Zoro is just bloodlust, his intent, his way of the Ashura. Like so dude, like actually I was researching this. Like Ashura is basically it's like a demigod of the I forgot what religion, or I forgot. But basically Ashura is the way of improving yourself to become complete, or like to become the best. That's what it is. Like it's basically a warrior's journey to become the best. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking Zoro. Like that's Zoro's fucking goal, to be the best, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ashura is about improving yourself.
Wow.
That's what the demigod is about, you know.
Yeah.
Through battling though. Like it's basically
Yeah.
like he's a warrior. Ashura's like a warrior, and his whole thing is like he gets better by keep fighting and
Mm-hmm.
suffering. That's his whole thing. So that's Zoro's fucking character. So his conqueror's haki is manifesting in that Ashura character, and that's why he manifests his spirit inside like the demon Ashura.
Mm.
He can get 9 arms, and those 9 arms actually can cut you. It's not an illusion, right?
Yeah. It's
It's actually
physical.
a physical cut. Like
Yeah.
he cuts you with 9 arms, with nine fucking blades. Sorry. So I think that is also another active use of conquerors, and that's crazy. That's basically Nen. That's basically from Hunter x Hunter Nen, because every character has a specific conqueror's
The
Nen, right?
spirit. Yeah.
Because Sanji doesn't have Sanji doesn't have Ashura. I mean, Shanks doesn't have Ashura. I hope not. Fucking Chinja doesn't have Ashura. So if Ashura and Hell's Memories are Conqueror's Haki, in terms of like, manifesting your will, like Sanji's
Yeah.
very passionate, his spirit burns harder than fire. Maybe
Yeah.
that's his conquerors. Maybe I hope he has I fucking
Yeah.
wish Sanji has conquerors, man. But anyways, not every character will have the same ability when it comes to conquerors in terms of that active power, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think active.
Yeah.
That's more. That's probably gonna be a bit more rare. Like
I
Shanks
do
will have
think,
it.
yeah. I do think Shanks like controlling tsunamis, like the telekinesis thing, like imposing your will on objects. I think every character can do that, but not every character. Like very few characters will do that. I think Shanks, Luffy, Dragon can do that.
Yeah,
I
not to
think
that
maybe
level.
Aimu, but
Not
like
to that. Yeah.
not many people can master Conqueror's Haki. Even Mihawk, I think he has it, but I think
Yeah.
Mihawk hasn't mastered Conquerors to that extent. He uses more
Yeah.
swordsmanship.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Shanks and Dragon and Luffy. I think these three characters are
Are
the only
unique.
three who can use that telekinesis sort of Conqueror's Haki, where they can enforce their will on huge objects, huge inanimate objects.
Which would be incredible because Shanks.
But
I
I
mean,
think Zoro can't do that.
telekinesis.
I think Zoro Sanji can't do that. They
Can't.
won't get to that level. They won't get to that
Yeah.
level. But they instead manifest their Conqueror's Haki in terms of Ashura,
Mm.
fire, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's
So
my thoughts on it.
they'll still be very unique. They'll still be
Exactly.
very unique.
Very powerful too. Yeah.
So charm is one of the qualities that we talked about as well in these users of Conqueror's Haki that revealed so far. So like Zoro, like the Ashura, like I agree. Like I think I hope it's Conqueror's Haki, like a physical
I think it's
aspect
ornament.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an active, but it could be I feel like there's the passive aspect of it as well, like the demonic warrior, like the demon hunter Zoro, the aura
Yes.
of fear, the fear that he inspires in his opponents, right? They're petrified when they
Yes,
see
yes,
Ashura.
yes.
Like that is also, Conqueror's Haki, I feel
I
like.
agree. Yeah, we've seen
Yeah.
that many times. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like in Sabaody. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. It's good. Yeah, the influence that they have over, people around them, passive or otherwise active. Yeah, Shanks, I agree with you. I think I would like to see that telekinesis ability, or like that the devastating ability of Conqueror's Haki,
Yeah.
like inanimate
Yeah,
objects.
that'd be so badass, dude. Oh my
Imagine,
god, like he has
like,
one arm, man. Like what
like
the
some
fuck can he do? It's gotta be
dark
telekinesis,
phoenix.
man. It's gotta be some sort of telekinesis combined with ornament, combined with observation. He's gonna be fucking unstoppable, man. Like
Yeah,
imagine he can just he can get somebody like someone who's like like a fodder. Like he
Yeah.
can just fucking crush you like into
Oh.
the size of a baseball. Just crush you with
or just
telekinesis. With his
just
will.
toy with them, ragdoll
What
them,
if he
like,
can manipulate like your inside of your body, like like not like Ryu, but like just by looking at you. Like what if he can crush your heart just by looking at you? Like he can impose his will on your heart
that's what
and
I'm
just
thinking.
fucking crush you.
I think
Unless
that-
you have good enough ornament haki or also have Conqueror's Haki. Maybe to fight Shanks, you can only fight him if you have Conqueror's Haki. If you don't have Conqueror's Haki, you lose by default.
you're
Like you
done.
can't do shit. Yeah. Maybe that's the case, but yeah.
That would explain so much. That would make so much sense as to how like he's been able to be this strong despite losing one arm.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit.
He
I
didn't
wonder
need to.
why his personality makes him such a conqueror. Like why he's such a laid back guy. Like he's so casual, he's so chill. How is he so dominant? Like what's
That's the other
making him like
thing.
that? Like he must have a dark side. He must have like a frightening side. Like people are just like shitting
Exactly.
themselves when they see him. Or
I
maybe
feel like
like
we're
when he gets serious, when he's like actually pissed off, like he's fucking scary. He can't just always be this laid back guy.
yeah.
You know
I
what
feel
mean?
like we've seen that side of him in a way. Like there's this
Somehow.
tranquil fury that he has. Like one instance when he looks at the Sea King, when he stops the war, when he meets the Gorosei, like there's a sternness to him. I feel like like there's definitely something.
I can't wait. When that happens, that'll be a 10 out of 10 chapter. When we see Shanks' power, that's like my top 3 reasons for why I watch One
Yeah,
Piece.
dude.
To see
hell yeah.
Shanks fight, that's like my top 3. Like, why the fuck is he so strong? Yeah, but yeah, that's a good segment, man. We could go on forever.
Yeah.
But so we're going to our second topic, Matt.
right.
What do you think happened at the reverie?
All right, so our second topic, we're
What
gonna
do you think happened in
discuss
Reverie?
the Reverie arc. So what do you think happened in the Reverie? Let's start
No,
with
what do
you,
you
Lee.
think happened to Reverie?
All right, this is a bit of a all right Reverie arc. I think
What do you think happened? What do you think? No, what do you think happened that we don't know? That's what I'm saying.
or that we don't know, like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously know what we know. So what do you think happened that we don't know?
Um, I think something to do with the revolutionaries. Like I feel like Kuma plays a huge role in that arc, or in the events of the Reverie. There's a
Think he got
lot.
away?
There's a lot that we can. Oh, Kuma.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I hope so. Like I think. I mean, otherwise, like yeah, he has to have gotten away. I mean, what other purpose of the plot would he serve if he was still there?
Yeah, you
Like,
know what I think happened with Kuma? Well, we know that Sabo got defeated or injured. I
mhm,
think Kuma Sabo was losing to the admirals, like to Green Bull and Fuji, and
mhm.
then just as Sabo was about to lose, Kuma pushed him away to Wano. Like his
So
teleporting thing.
Sabo's back in Wano.
Or
I hope not.
he pushed him somewhere. He pushed him somewhere. Maybe it would be very interesting if it wasn't Wano. I hope not.
Yeah, I
But
hope not.
I
I
think the
don't want to
most
see him.
obvious answer is like Wano, because that's where all the action is, right? And
Shit.
Luffy needs help, right, to beat the two emperors. But I think the most obvious answer is Wano. But it would be cool if it wasn't. But I think that's how Sabo gets out alive. I don't think he's captured. That'll be bullshit. That'll be Ace 2.0. That'll be bullshit. Bullshit.
So there are, certain impact. Like I'm looking at the wiki right now, just looking at the impact of the Reverie and things that actually happened.
Yeah.
Not the key events, but actually as a result of the Reverie, how things have changed. So what do you think? Like for example, here it says Germa Kingdom's connection to world government is revoked. Revolutionary Army was able to escape Baltigo. There's a lot of stuff that happened during Ryo Kogyu and Fujitora. Like Akainu told Green Bull to stop Fujitora from entering Marijoa, but that didn't happen. They fought Sabo together, presumably, and the revolutionary commanders were there as well. So, I mean, Doflamingo also was shown in solitary confinement. Like, he thought that there would be assassins coming after him. But there's a lot of stuff we can talk about in the Reverie, man. Like the empty throne, the 800 years, 20 kingdoms, CP0. I mean, even Shanks went to Goro's the five elders
Yeah.
to
What the fuck
talk
happened
about a
there?
certain pirate.
Did Shanks
Yeah,
save Sabo? Like what happened there? Like Shanks is what happened, man? Like did he just leave after like all that shit happened? He just leave? Like what happened?
he left before shit went down,
Yeah,
Mihawk
like
style.
what? Who do you think was the pirate they talked about? Just wondering. You know the
Uh,
pirate that they're talking about?
yeah, it's true. I hope it's not a Teach. I think it's
That'd be
more interesting.
obvious.
That'd be too obvious. That'd be like, why would you even bother, teasing us with that? There's no point. But I think
Yeah.
I feel like he's talking about Zebek. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was just gonna say rocks. I was gonna say that.
Because just as
Holy shit.
that was going on, Garp was talking about him as well, right? So like it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
makes
yeah, yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna
Maybe
say.
do you
But I
think he's
mean,
still alive?
I don't think so. But maybe Zebek, like the whole theory, like Zebek is part of Blackbeard, like their double personality. Like Zebek's will is somehow infused in Blackbeard. Because
Don't
remember
know.
in Logtown, like when Luffy and Zoro saw Blackbeard, they're like,
Yeah.
it's not him, it's them. It's
Oh
them, plural.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
so that's
Yeah.
the thing. And as well,
Oh,
Zebek, he's been mentioned. He must play a part in the story, right? So
do you think?
maybe he doesn't have to be alive. That's too obvious. Like that's too cliche. But
Yeah,
maybe he's living on in Blackbeard's fucking
I like
spirit or
that.
whatever.
Maybe that's why Blackbeard never sleeps because he's got two spirits. It's like he
Exactly.
can't
That's another
sleep.
reason. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Who knows? Who
He's got
knows?
two spirits in him. Exactly. Exactly.
But Kuma was revealed to be an actual king as well in
Yeah.
the
That's
Reverie
whatever.
arc.
I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. Fuck Kuma, man. I don't like him though.
Yeah, I mean he serves little purpose at this point.
Yeah.
He's
He's
brain
serving no
dead.
purpose. Yeah. He's brain dead. Shit.
He's
He's a vegetable.
yeah, he's a
Jesus
vegetable.
Christ. Yeah. What do you think happened to Vivi?
Oh, that's
Because
a
she
good
was
question.
mentioned. She was mentioned. As I
I
said,
thought
remember I told you
her
I told
father
this
was
to
there,
you.
right?
Yeah. You're saying?
Cobra was there as well in Marijoa.
Yeah, Cobra's a dead man.
She was mentioned, and she was yeah, thing with Emu, like he held her picture.
Yeah.
He or she has a hostility towards her as well as Luffy and Blackbeard.
Not hostility, no, opposite, bro. He has hostility towards Blackbeard and Luffy. And Shirahoshi. He cut up their images,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he left Vivi's
Oh,
intact.
intact.
Yeah, he probably has a like people are saying he has a crush on Vivi. I think it's much like more serious than that. I don't think it's that.
I
I
wonder
think
what's the big deal with V.
it's like he's just fucking wanking to Vivi's photo.
Oh
That's
my
jokes.
gosh.
I think I think Vivi might be one of the two kings that we talked about in 968, or
Yeah.
perhaps it is a love interest, man. Perhaps it's like okay,
Oh
you
god.
know, as
Maybe
that'd be
he's
fucked up though.
what's his name? The fucking dude from Alabasta, the rebel.
Who?
I forgot his fucking name. Man, the guy who led the assault on the palace. Fuck. Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking Koza.
What?
Koza. If Emu was Koza.
Bro, if Emu was Koza, I'd cut my dick off. It's not Koza, dude.
The king
No
of the
way.
world.
Fuck Koza. Dude, no way, man.
It's Igaram, bro. Igaram. I mean, Emu, like the anagram, bro. Yeah, I was playing. But yeah,
That's
Vivi,
jokes, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think her he's a dead man. It's only a
He's
matter
a dead man walking, dude. He asked about the ancient weapons, or he asked about the ancient history. Nope, that's a no-go, you fucking dumbass. You're gonna
I
fucking
think he's
die.
a dumbass, dude. Why does he constantly,
Yeah.
he's just a nosy guy, huh?
It's like, come on, didn't you learn your lesson from Crocodile? Like, you're a fucking dead man. Fuck off. Cobra's a dead man.
Hmm.
All right. Let's move on to our last topic, man. So our last topic is ELBAF, the
Yeah.
mythical island, the
Yeah,
island
what
of
do you,
giants. So, what will that arc be like, and what would the people in ELBAF be like?
what are your
Like in
theories
terms of
on
the
the
yeah.
arc?
So
What
I'm hyped because they said ELBAF was the strongest military in the world.
Hmm.
That gets me hyped for the arc.
Hell,
Like when they say that, right? I wonder it's either one of two things. Either they have it's a combination maybe, but one is that they have really strong people. So like Loki, if they have someone called Thor, that'd be cool.
oh
Or
yeah.
they have like the king of giants. The king
Yeah.
of giants may be admiral level or higher. Maybe he's a 5th Yonko level. That would be insane. I wish he's at least admiral level. That would be insane. Honestly, probably not Yonko, but realistically, admiral. Realistically, like maybe like Oden level. That's sick. Like that means the new world had 2 other people who are admiral level. That's sick, right? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like I hope that's the case, or at least Loki.
Just
maybe
hope it's
is
not
like
Orochi 2.0.
admiral
man.
level. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Because ELBAF was said to be the strongest military in the world. Their
Yeah.
king must be a beast. So, but then the other option, right, is that maybe their military is strong because of numbers, and their numbers comprise of these fucking huge ass giants, right?
Mhm.
So obviously, if you have 10,000 regular humans versus 10,000 giants, the giants would win, right? Like by a landslide. So maybe that's what they're talking about. Like it's just like the pure size of, it's just like the pure size of them. Maybe they just have so many soldiers, but they're all giants. But like, I don't know. I like that too. I think it should be a combination of both.
I mean,
think
they're
they
the
should have-
strongest country in the world.
Yeah, but it could just because of numbers. But they're all
Yes.
fodder.
Oh
But
god.
they're all giants. Like they're strong. They're the strongest fodder in the world. If that makes
Oh,
sense. You know
God.
what I mean?
Yeah. Like they're a little better than the minks. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But I hope the other option is true, is that they actually have really, really strong individuals, plus a really strong military as well. Like they have people on like Dory Broggy level as their fodder.
Yeah, I hope that's the case.
That's insane. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Like they have like 100,000 soldiers like that. That dude, honestly, that's like 10 times better than the Smile Devil Fruit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
one
that
giant can beat
army.
50 Smile users, dude. The Smiles are shit. But
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think of that? What do you think of the people in ELBAF? Any
So
relevant characters? Any powerful characters? What do you think?
hell yeah. Personally, I've been looking forward to this arc. I can say that now. It's easy to say that now, but like even before Wano, I wanted to see Elbaf more than Wano. I'm just more interested in the lore behind Elbaf because I know that Oda's gonna obviously use Norse mythology as the inspiration for Elbaf and whatever lore he has. I don't know how much research he's done into that. I know he's very familiar with the Wano stuff because it's based in Japan, feudal Japan. But with Elbaf, like we've gotten hints of characters like Loki, the giant prince. So apparently he's 63 years old and he
How do
was
you know
born
that?
on.
How do you know that?
I was
Oh, in
looking
the
on the
in
wiki, yeah.
Norse? Okay, yeah, yeah.
No, in the One Piece wiki. He's
What?
like
That's bullshit, man. You
it
don't
says
know his
he's
age.
63. He
You don't
was
know that.
because he was born 10 months after 5-year-old Big Mom was
How
left
do you
at
know that?
Elbaf
How do
by
you
her
know that?
parents.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh shit. You're
Yeah, he
right.
was born on the winter solstice.
And
So
giants
he's
live way
actually old.
longer, so he's still in his prime.
Yeah, yeah. So like if he's a leader of the military. The other thing is I don't think he's based on the thing with the giants, right? Elbaf and Norse giants, like they're similar to like okay, Greek mythology has titans. The Norse mythology have these giants called Jotun. He's I don't think he's based on the trickster god Loki. He's probably based on the giant king Utgard Loki. So in Norse
Yeah.
mythology, for people who don't know, like there are a lot of giants, and like there are several generations of giant kings. Like there's this giant called Surtur. He's like a leader of fire giants. Like he's supposed to bring the end of the world, that sort of thing. There's a giant called Thrym. Like he was the one in the legend who he and Thor are like arch enemies, and Thor killed him after because he stole his hammer. Then there are other giant kings, and Utgard Loki, according to the lore, the myths, he was the ruler of Jotunheim, which was the homeland of all the giants. So in Norse mythology, there are 9 worlds, and Jotunheim is one of those 9 worlds. That's where all the frost giants live. So in the mythology, Utgard Loki was the ruler of that castle in Jotunheim, and he was actually the story is that there's Loki, Thor, like the actual Loki, and Thor's servants were traveling, and then they went to a huge forest, and as they were seeking shelter in the night, there was this huge building. They go in this hall, and they throughout the night there are earthquakes, and then Thor has his hammer in defense, and basically turns out that the building belongs to the glove is a glove of this huge giant, which is this giant, and he has these. He puts Loki and Thor through these trials, I think, in a story, and he like basically puts them through all this shit, like makes Thor drink from a horn that has just ale that wouldn't stop, connected to the ocean, etc., etc. They're like all these stories. Basically, he's a big giant, and he's the mortal enemy of Thor. I feel like I don't know if how deep into the lore that Oda wants to go into this, but I feel like it would be very interesting if he, you know, actually had some of these characters based on the actual mythology. Like imagine, as you said, if we see Thor, Odin, or like any of these like Norse pantheon, like just characters, giants named after these characters. But the other theory I have, dude, and this is a bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a stretch because so basically, you know how in these in the Reverie arc, and even now in the Wano flashback, we're learning a lot about Joy Boy. We got our first glimpse at Emu, right? So like, yeah, so Emu is apparently named after the frost giant Ymir. Did you know that? Like he's
I heard about I heard about like
yeah.
yeah,
So like,
frost giant.
sorry if I'm going on a
No,
bit of
no,
a
it's good, it's
tangent.
good. I'm not as familiar with Norse mythology as you, but I do know a little bit. Yeah, I know who the frost giant is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Oda's just gonna go on a very general. Like,
You
yeah.
think so? He's gonna follow it like really
No, not
verbatim?
deep. I think he's gonna go like he has a general understanding of it, and I think like
Right.
these are kind of familiar characters. But like Emu, like the Ymir was the apparently he was the progenitor giant. Like his guts were used to create the Norse world. But like yeah, that's a gruesome story. But
Yeah.
Emu, like if he's the founder, like oh yeah, the other thing is it's implied that Joy Boy is a giant as well, right? Like from his straw hat. So like
Yeah.
there's some connection I feel like ELBAF will have, like just like how Wano has a
Maybe Joy
poneglyph.
Boy's a giant. Maybe Joy Boy's a giant.
Yeah, and I think ELBAF has a. We'll probably learn a lot of stuff in ELBAF about those characters, and like whether it's Joy Boy or even Emu. Like I feel like there will be some connection there. I think Big Mom might have some connection there. Obviously, she was previously allied to them, and then their relationship turned really sour. But the one last crazy theory I have, I don't know if this is crazy, but you know how Oda always has in these major arcs, it's just a clusterfuck of characters. Like he might bring back old characters, he might introduce new characters, different
Yeah.
factions. I have a feeling
Enel?
that, yeah,
I
dude,
knew it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like Enel's gonna make a reappearance in this. I don't know why.
That'll
Like
be
maybe,
insane,
yeah,
bro. I totally. It's just like a vibe I get, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Another
yeah,
reason for that, I think another reason to back your statement is that, um, like in like Thor, he's like the god of lightning,
yeah,
so that's with an L. But as well, Luffy used the against Chinjao a 4 elephant gun. It's
yeah.
like Thor, you know. So I can see Luffy using like a King Kong Thor elephant gun, or like a King Kong Thor gun
Oh
in
my.
ELBAF, like a light. What do you think that was, by the way? Like, what was that lightning shit? That's Conqueror's Haki? What do you think that was?
It seems like either Conqueror's Haki or
Yeah,
just
so maybe it's a type
yeah,
of ornament haki. So maybe it's a
yeah.
special ornament haki that lets you produce lightning. I think there's another character who used it. I forgot. Was there?
Kaido.
Yeah, Kaido. Yeah, fucking Kaido. Thunder Bagua. That's
Yeah,
also a fucking type of lightning ornament haki. So maybe the giants specialize in the lightning ornament haki. How crazy would that be? I think the lightning haki is not Conquerors. Like at first I thought it was Conquerors, like a Diablo
hmm
Jambe or like an Ashura thing. It's
hmm
not because we've seen Kaido use it as well. So I mean, Kaido might have electricity due to his dragon powers because dragons are like,
yeah,
masters of the weather.
yeah,
But as well, I think maybe it could just be like a special type of ornament haki that lets you produce elements like Sanji's Diablo Jambe. I said it before. I think it's ornament haki. I mean, it could be
hmm
Conquer,
yeah,
especially Hell's Memory. But I think it's just like Ryu in the form of fire. So I think haki can actually let you produce elements. And maybe the giants, especially
yeah,
Thor, specialize in lightning ornament haki.
yeah. That
So
would be
all their
cool.
attacks are
We'd see
like,
another one.
like lightning style, like on some fucking Naruto shit, like lightning style. You know what I mean? Like lightning
Yeah,
style ornament haki. And then we see Luffy go head to head with like Loki with like a fucking King Kong
yeah,
four
hell
gun.
yeah,
And Kaido's
yeah.
Divine Thunder. Kaido's also like an ancient giant. I told you my theory, right? I think Kaido's a hybrid between either a human
Giant.
and an ancient giant or a giant and
Yeah,
an ancient giant.
yeah,
So that could explain what his Thunder Bagua. And Big Mom has lightning too. She's like a fucking fat fuck as well.
both of them seem to have some like connection to
Yeah.
ELBAF. I feel like they're both giants. And like,
I
do you
can't
think
see Kaido
Loki would
yet, but
have?
I think it might be revealed. Yeah, sorry.
No, no, nah. Sorry. Do you think Loki might have Conqueror's Haki, being the leader of this
Yes.
huge military?
I think whoever's the leader of ELBAF has Conqueror's Haki. Even the prince maybe.
Sweet. Yeah.
He should. In terms of an arc, how long do you think it will be? Like Zoe?
I don't think it would be as long as Wano, but I think it'll be a lot longer than
Sure.
Zo. It has to be a
Oh,
major
okay.
arc,
Because Oda
and we
said One
know.
Piece is ending soon, so it has to be like a rushed arc.
I think it'll be one of the last major arcs, probably. Like before,
But that's not possible because that's at least a year, right? So that
if Oda's
means
rushing,
only
if
2
Oda's
years for the
rushing,
final war. Yeah.
if
Or you think Oda's
Oda's,
just bullshitting?
yeah, I think he's both. You think the
I
final
think
war's gonna
7
happen
years.
in 2 years?
No, I think 7. I think One Piece will end in 7 years. If Oda
Okay,
said
yeah,
5, he
fair.
means 7. That's fair.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I think Elbaf will be big, man. Like Usopp has a thing as well with the being a great warrior or whatever.
I agree, yeah.
It should
Yeah,
tie
as
a
well
lot of.
the Usopp plot line. I agree. Maybe Usopp will be the first Straw Hat to finish his dream.
Yeah.
That'll be insane.
His dream. I mean, yeah,
And therefore he
dude. But
can
yeah,
die.
I hope NL also makes an appearance. That'd
That's
be
insane. I
crazy.
just
Like,
have a vibe, man. I just think he's gonna show up. I don't have any
yeah, right.
rationale
Same,
apart from the
same.
lightning thing. I just
Yeah,
think he has to show up.
Some of his techniques are named after Norse mythology as well, like
True.
El Thor, like El
Yeah,
Thor,
Elthor.
huge. He had this other one as well. I forgot what it was. Like the really big one, like his
Rygo.
ultimate. Yeah, right. Oh
Rygo.
no, yeah, it's called Raigo, right? Never mind.
The big
But
ball.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
interesting.
imagine him sailing like into Elbaf from the sky, just like
I
boom, like
hope he's stronger, man.
smoking
No need
giants,
to
like
be.
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, I'm sure there's so much else in that island as well. Like Elbaf, I feel like I personally, I really want it to be better than Wano,
You know what I
but
think? Another side quest. I
yeah,
think in Wano,
side
sorry,
quest.
in Elbaf, there's gonna be smiths, a blacksmith, right?
Yeah.
And I think Zoro's gonna get his third blade from there.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
I
Yeah.
think I think Elbaf
Except.
is a place where Zoro gets his most powerful blade. I think that's when he gets his own blade. Like he has
Yeah.
Wado, he
Yeah.
has Enma, whatever.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get his own blade, dude. Like fuck the Kitetsu.
Customize, bro.
Like fuck the
Customize.
Kitetsu. Like
Yeah.
or you know what I say? Maybe even fuck Enma. Enma's not good enough. Enma's only like the grades. Like it's only the second from best grade. He needs fucking top grade swords. He needs the Mihawk level swords. So
Yeah.
I think end of series he'll have three what is it, Saijo Wasamono, like the three top grade swords, world class swords. There's only like 11, right, of them, I believe.
I think
Mihawk
so.
has one.
11 or 12, something
Yeah,
like that.
Mihawk has one, right? He has the
Yeah.
Yoru.
Yeah.
So I think Zoro. So these are his three blades, right? Listen. The Kitetsu one,
Hmm.
Saijo was one. The best Kitetsu, or maybe he forges all of them into one.
Hmm.
Number two will be Wado Ichimonji, which is also it's not a Saijo yet, but he'll make it into one. He'll make it a black blade because he's had it the longest, right?
Right.
He's gonna give Enma to Momonosuke, and then he's going to go to Elbaf, and he's gonna make his own blade. He's gonna be like a 12th Saijo Wazamono. He's gonna make a 12th one. He's gonna
Mhm.
make one more, or a 13th one. I
Nice.
don't know, but he's gonna make one more. Because Zoro has to have his own blade. He needs to carve his own path. I think Mihawk did the same thing. I think there's gonna be a little lore where Mihawk created Yoru, or like he made someone create Yoru in Elbaf.
Yeah.
Like imagine these fucking like huge fucking 60-foot giants
Yeah.
making like a
Forging
blade
that
that's like
sword.
fucking 2 feet tall. You know what I mean?
I
Like
feel
a
like
small ass blade, but these fucking giants with hammers like just making that blade. That'll be fucking badass.
when you look at Mihawk's sword, like it's so ornamental, like it's some fine craftsmanship. I think, yeah, dude, Elbaf will have the best blacksmiths. The other thing about
Blacksmith,
Norse
that's what I meant.
mythology, the other thing about Norse mythology also is like the potential is immense because the thing is with Norse mythology, the dwarves, right? In Norse, the dwarves are the blacksmiths. Like they are the best
Yes,
blacksmiths
exactly.
in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
They'll make some crazy shit. Like so, yeah, dude, that would be amazing for Zoro to get a side quest upgrade. Imagine they're like Valkyries and stuff. Like I hope he and Sam
Valkyries, yeah.
gets. Yeah, dude, imagine that. And yeah, just
And Usopp's gonna power
Zoro,
up too. I mean, I think that's when Usopp will finally break into the top four. Straw
he needs a
Hats.
weapon. He needs a
Yeah, he needs some fucking
upgrade.
guns. Fucking bitch ass slingshot. He needs some guns, dude. Or we need something, maybe not a gun, maybe something that we have no idea, like maybe
Oh, what a hammer!
arrows,
Like his
arrows.
hammer.
Oh
Remember his
yeah, true.
hammer?
Oh yeah.
He had a hammer,
Oh
right?
shit.
Thor's hammer.
Maybe he actually gets a 10-ton hammer or like a 20-ton hammer. Holy shit. And maybe that's his training. Maybe that's his power up. They make a hammer for him and he has to he can't even move it at the start. By the end
Yeah.
of the arc, he's fucking swinging it like it's nothing.
I
But
hope
that
so.
hammer weighs like 100 tons or something.
Then he'll be a.
That would be insane. I would fucking bro. That's a great idea, man. Because he's used the hammer before, right? Like the fake hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Against
all of Usopp's
Power
lies
Force.
become true. So therefore, he's gonna get a real hammer that weighs
A
like 10
10-ton.
tons. Yeah,
That
dude,
would
that's
make him such
insane.
a
Maybe it has lightning
versatile
properties
fighter.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
maybe he
yeah,
can like
dude.
fire that hammer as like a projectile. I don't know. And it comes
Whoa.
back to him, like in
Whoa.
Thor.
Yeah,
Thor's
yeah,
hammer
yeah.
comes back to him.
Yeah.
Like
Same
a
thing
like a mag.
in
Yeah.
God of War
In
where he has
Avengers. Oh
axe.
yeah. In God of War. Yeah. That would be
Yeah, dude, that's like
insane, bro.
magic. Dude, I think the Elbaf, like the
The
Giants, will
Elbaf
have some
arc.
magic stuff.
I think
man.
the Elbaf will be it's the next step for the Straw Hats to power up. Like I think everyone will get a power up.
They
But
better.
they need to. They're not Roger level yet.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I
Even
agree.
after Wano, they're not. Nobody in that crew is admiral level except Luffy, maybe. And even
Because
then,
what have they done
you
in
need your whole
Wano?
crew to be good.
I mean, well, like, what have the Straws actually? How have they progressed in Wano? Like, they haven't really
Yeah,
upgraded.
I think at the end of Wano, all the Straws together can beat an admiral for sure. Like
Oh yeah,
mid
yeah,
diff,
yeah.
honestly, maybe high diff, but like I feel at the end of Wano they'd be strong, but nowhere near um what they need to be at the end of series. I think end of series they'll be fucking gods, dude. Like the top three, top four, they'll be so strong. Like they need to go through every arc from now on. The Straw Hats need to get stronger every single arc by quite a bit, you know? So
Yeah.
Wano they get significant power up, ELBAF they get power up, maybe the arc after that they get a big power up, Raftel they get a big power up, and then Final War they're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
think.
true. They have to like, but I
They're not
think
ready yet. Even after
Luffy's
Wano, they're
gonna.
nowhere near ready.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot stronger than Roger probably.
Not a
Just
lot
feels like.
stronger, but he needs to get stronger. He needs to be able to beat he needs to be able to beat a Yonko.
The thing
By
is, we should see these power ups, man. Like they shouldn't be
Ooh,
ass pose like, oh
as
shit,
well. I
gear
think
5.
yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, sorry. You were saying, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
think at the end of Elbaf, the conclusion will be Luffy versus Big Mom at the end.
Yes, that's what I think as
Yeah,
well.
that's what's
Yeah,
gonna conclude with. Yeah,
that's
that's like
how Big
final.
Mom will get
That's how it
concluded,
ties into the story, and then Luffy gets a fucking 5 billion bounty.
which kind of makes Whole Cake Island like, but like,
No, it's
no, like,
good. No.
no,
I think
yeah,
you need that. You need
yeah.
that.
You
No,
do. True,
I
true,
think you
true.
need, or else
That's
it's
true.
pointless. Or else you need it.
That's very true.
You need to see a point where Luffy's weaker than Big Mom, and then to see a point where Luffy's stronger, so you have a reference. And you also
That's
can
very true.
see more exposition for the character, and also you
Yeah.
can see Katakuri. You get to see more world building. It's key. Whole Cake Island was a good arc. It's key.
That's why I think ELBAF, like, due to its importance, and as you said, if Big Mom's like the end opponent for that arc,
That
like
will be insane.
she
One
and
v
Kaido
one.
cannot fall in this arc. Their alliance cannot be like
Kaido will die or
Kaido,
Kaido will
yeah,
fall,
but
but
Big
Big
Mom
Mom should stay
cannot.
alive.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or vice versa.
yeah,
But I think Big Mom makes more sense.
and then we'll get to see her go all out at last, like no holds barred, like not
Finally.
held back, just like bloodlusted. The real Big Mom, not like that nerfed shit before, or like even in this arc where she's like what, memory loss, and then
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, but that's what we think will happen in Elbaf.
That means Big Mom Pirates, yeah, also show up on
Yeah.
ELBAF. Hell yeah. Yeah, good stuff.
So now we're gonna go into our final segment, which is the One Piece trivia. Me and Kento go head to head in a trivia battle. We're gonna see who gets the most questions right. This week we got 15 questions, so we'll do 7. Whoever gets the most out of 7 wins, and the last question we'll just answer together, I guess. Okay. Since we can't really say at the same time. That'd be a bit weird on some nitro shit. Anyways, let's get into it, man.
Alright, let's click time
Alright,
quiz.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Yep,
You
loading.
go first, Kenzo. Ready? I'm gonna press start now.
Alright,
Go.
start. So in the Skypiea arc, one of the priests is Ohm. What is the name of Ohm's dog? Damn. Hody, Holy, Hoppy, or Cho? Oh wow. This is kind of tough.
I know the answer.
I'm gonna go with Holy. Alright. Holy, yeah, correct. Holy
Yeah,
is the name of Ohm's dog and is also a fighter who knows martial arts. Alright. When you're
Usopp
ready.
can use armament haki. True or false? True. No, false.
Alright.
Okay, next.
Next. What was the name of the mountain bandit that kidnapped Luffy when he was a kid? Higuma. I don't even have to see the
Yeah.
multiple choice. Yeah, Nezumi, Blue Jam, Higuma, or Data. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, Higuma. No, Blue Jam was a pirate. My bad. Yeah, Higuma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tricky. That's cheeky. I
Yeah,
see what
it's
they did
cheeky.
there. Yeah, it's cheeky. Okay, the Doflamingo family have 4 elite officers that have the codenames Treble, Diamante, Pica, and Corazon. Who was the first Corazon? Virgo, Clown, Caesar Clown, Trafalgar Law, or Don Quixote Rocinante? Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Oh shit, I'm a bit confused between Virgo or Rocinante. Go with Rocinante. What? Virgo! Holy shit, is Virgo?
The first Corazon was Virgo, and the second one was Rosinante. Law would have been the third if he did not leave the family.
What the fuck? Virgo was the... Okay, fuck, you know.
It's
I
quite,
got
yeah.
done there. I got done.
Alright,
That's
next.
cool. That's cool. I should got that, yeah.
Aside from Ace, Luffy also has another sworn brother named Sabo. Sabo is part of the Revolutionary Army. What is his rank in that army? Is it Chief of Staff? Is it Lieutenant Commander? Is it Chief Petty Officer? Is it Commander? It's Chief of Staff. Yeah. Known to be the number 2 behind Dragon. Alright.
Who is the chief warden of Impel Down after the time skip? After time skip, okay. Dari, Magellan, Hannibal, Domino. It's gonna be Hannibal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright. Next. There are 2 Baroque work agents that are called the Unluckies and serve as the messengers to Crocodile and execute agents that fail their missions. Who are the Unluckies? It's like this vulture
Oh
dude.
shit. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't know their numbers, dude.
I think it's Mr. Seven and Miss Father's Day. No, I got it wrong.
Who is it?
Dude, it's
13?
13 and a vulture
Yeah.
named Miss Friday.
Because it's by strength, right? So
Yeah.
number 13 is the weakest, one of the weakest, right? Ah, I should have got that, man. Because number 1 is
Yeah.
the strongest, right?
Did I click
Yeah.
number 1? Was that stupid?
No, I mean Mr. 1 is the strongest, right? Okay. Princess Vivi of Alabasta once infiltrated the criminal organization Baroque Works under an alias to discover the identity of the mastermind. What was the alias Vivi used?
Easy.
Miss Wednesday. Okay, so Miss Monday, Miss All Sunday, Miss Sunday, Miss Wednesday. Miss Wednesday. Boom.
Yep. Female agents name of days and holidays. All right, next.
That was a very challenging question.
It was okay. Yeah, one of the main focuses of all these Alabasta questions. One of the main focuses of the Alabasta arc is the absence of rain. What is the name of the powder that is used to make artificial rain? Good question. Rain dance powder, droplet powder, dance powder. I think it's dance powder. I think. Rain dance. Nah, dance. Yes, dance powder. I got it. The original creators called it dance powder because it would make them dance with joy with all the rain that it would create. Yeah, I almost clicked rain dance there.
Did you know the reason? Just one. Did you know the reason why? Did you know that rationale? I knew that.
I didn't know the rationale. I just remember.
Fair enough.
Because it would make them dance.
You got the question right. That's all that matters.
But now I remember the rationale.
Yeah.
That was a good that was good writing by Oden, by the way.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Kako and Caliphate were both members of CP9 that were given the devil fruit in his lobby. What was the devil fruit Caliphate acquired? The soap fruit, sheep fruit, wash fruit, bubble fruit. Oh shit. They're all so similar.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It's either bubble or soap. I think soap. Oh what? What the fuck?
It was Bubbles. Yeah, it was Bubbles. She bought Sanji.
Dude? Oh my god.
Company something Bubbles.
Dude.
It was like a whack devil fruit, man. It was
fair
a
enough,
whack
fair enough.
fruit.
I thought it was the soap, man.
Right.
Fair enough.
Which of the following does not possess Conqueror's haki? Let's see. Chinjiao, Garp, Doflamingo, Hancock. Well, I mean, technically, we don't know if Garp doesn't have it, but I think so. Yeah, common knowledge-wise, I know Garp has it for sure. But according to this question, he doesn't.
Up to now. It says up to wano, so fair enough.
Boa Hancock possesses Conqueror's haki. She uses a knock weekly. It says, yeah, okay. Doesn't even. Yeah, okay.
Fine.
Cool.
What is the name of Basil Hawkins' devil fruit?
Oh.
What the hell? Magic fruit, straw fruit, voodoo fruit, dull fruit. Straw fruit. Come on, it's easy.
Paramecium. Manipulating straw at will, with the straw having damage redirecting properties. Next, there are 3 forms to Luffy's Gear 4th form. Which of these is not a form of Gear 4?
Oh, it's fucking easy, bro.
Man, Tank Man, Snake Man, Bound Man. The thing is, Luffy's not my favorite character, so like I actually don't.
Shut up, fucking know.
Tank Man. Oh, I got it wrong.
How the fuck you don't know that, dude? Are you serious? Are you serious? That's fucking poor.
Wait. Luffy's first gear fourth form is called Bound Man. The second is Tank Man. Third
What?
is so Speed Man. Oh yeah, well, of
How do
course.
you not know that? They're all animals. What? How do you not know that?
I just assume you had all of them, man.
Jesus, dude. Kento, you do it on purpose?
No, it was not on purpose.
What the fuck? That's
I think I
poor,
rushed.
bro. Oh my god. All right,
That
my
was
turn.
pretty bad.
Watch, I'll get karma. Which of the worst generation
This
pirates,
is easy.
excluding Luffy, has defeated one of Big Mom's sweet commanders?
Easy.
Boney, Eroge, Capone, Drake. Drake. Joking. Eroge.
Yeah.
All right.
Eroge, man. Impressive stuff. He's a good. He's pretty
Impressive,
strong.
dude. Impressive. He's
Yeah.
better than Zoro.
I think he's one of the stronger supernovas. I mean,
I'm kidding.
feet.
Just based on that feat. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. All right, this is the last question. What are the artificial devil fruits?
It's not.
What are the artificial devil fruits that
shit,
Caesar created called? Sad, smile, laugh, Zoan, smile. Yep.
What the hell? That's the last question. It's supposed to be 15.
It is 15 in total. So we can take a.
Really?
Yeah.
We drew then.
We should take a pic. Yeah. All right. Cool.
We drew.
We have the
Okay.
results right here. We have the results.
So-
1, 2, 3.
So last week we couldn't do it because of certain time constraints. We couldn't actually do the trivia, but the week before I won, so we counted it as a draw, Kento. So it's basically 1-0 to me still.
So this thing, man, like this quiz, we actually missed 3 questions.
What did we
Interesting.
miss?
No, I mean we actually
We
usually-
didn't know 3 questions.
yeah, that's a
And how
review.
the fuck did we get 5 each? Oh, bro, you answered one more question than me.
By order, yeah, because I got the first question, that's why.
But if it's 15 questions, shouldn't we answer 7 each and then there's 1 remaining?
Oh man, we should have done that.
Or am I just being retarded? Shouldn't we answer 7 each and then it's like 1 left?
Then we just.
We answered 5 each. Unless I'm mistaken.
So wait, how many questions did you get correct on your first try? It says
I got
12, right?
12.
12? Yeah, same. So it's a draw. Fuck it.
Alright, whatever. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, I get it. No. I didn't include the ones we got wrong. Fair enough.
Dude,
And you answered one more question than me.
the Rosinante
So you lost.
question.
You lost. Because
Alright,
it was
whatever.
5-4 because you lost because you answered the last question, right?
Yeah, dude, I deserve that loss.
Shouldn't
No
count.
problem.
That shouldn't count. Yeah, because
A fucking tank man.
yeah, that's fucking poor. I can't. That's part of the main story, dude.
Dude, but I'm looking at these results. I can't believe like they like some of these idiots only get like for example, Usopp can use armament haki. Only 50% got that question correct. That's so stupid.
That's stupid, dude. It's
Which
fucking
of the
stupid.
which of the like this one fucking
Average
wait.
score is 50% on this quiz. What the fuck?
Yeah, like how are these people so
Shit.
dumb, dude?
This quiz was rated difficult, dude. It was pretty easy. I mean, no,
Difficult
to be
for
fair, it's
them.
harder than last week's. Than
It's
the last
hard.
time
Yeah, true.
we
Yeah,
did.
we missed 3 questions.
It was good. It was a good quiz. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I like how
was
it gives
better.
you analytics after.
Yeah, good stat sheet.
Bro, the question I got wrong, the Virgo one,
Rosinante, yeah.
only 33% people got it right. The
I
least.
can understand that.
Yeah,
that.
dude. I didn't
That
know
was a
Virgo was a fucking heart seat. What the fuck?
I didn't know
That's
that.
that's cool though. That means
I
yeah.
thought I knew like law would be. Like,
Yeah,
if he
obviously.
continued, but
That
the
means
fucking-
law. That means law versus Virgo was basically the 2 heart seats fighting each other. That's
Two
pretty
heart-
cool. That makes that fight cooler.
It's a shame that the seats just suck ass, dude.
Yeah, they suck. No, they don't suck. They're any one of
They're
those
shit.
seats would beat 3 times Skip Luffy.
Bro, if like the fucking hearts like is supposed to be impressive, the spade is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Pika,
yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
of
that's
course they would
the
be- No,
that's
nothing.
that's the trivia done. So it's 2-0 to me.
Oh shit, we're
Can't
still
tell.
recording. Damn. Yeah. All right. Nicely. We
2-0 to
got
me.
this in.
2-0 to me. So you gotta fucking catch up, man.
No problem.
All right.
Alright.
So
Now-
we'll be back again next week. There's a chapter next week, right? It's
Is
just a
this a chapter
fucking
before the
shame that
break?
it's just a shame that the scan comes out at just the wrong time for me, man. It's bullshit. But we'll be back. It's too late for me to fucking do a reaction
Yeah,
right there. I got work the next day, so I can't
have a
do it
rest.
until Saturday. Yeah. But anyways, that was good. I enjoyed that.
Me
So
too,
we'll be back
Lee. Thanks for
again.
having me.
Everybody, we really appreciate you watching or listening to our podcast. Um, you should like, comment, and subscribe. If you comment a question, we're gonna answer it. We want to eventually have like a question corner where we answer everybody's questions. We'll answer your question no matter what. All right. So, and we'll also give you a shout out. We'll mention your name. So ask us all your questions in the comments and subscribe. And we appreciate your support.
Yes.
Until then, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.